The chair, as a sergeant at arms, gone to Tharaka to bring the government.
Yeah, I think we...
The area senator can assist us with the search.
Sergeant at Arms, we sent you to usher in the delegation from Tharaka.
The chair, I have gone up to first floor, room number 3, where the governor, we had allocated him as a holding room with his delegation, but nobody is there, sir.
So he does not seem to be within the presence of Parliament?
He is not within, sir.
Okay. Senator Wambua?
I'm moving, Chair, that the sergeant at arms has searched around even the washrooms and all that. To be sure.
I've moved around all the places that he might be, but him with his delegation, they are not available, sir.
Yeah, as the sergeant at arms, maybe because I know there are a number of them, and this is a protected area. They also SIPU, the police, and also our sergeant at arms and other security. Have you asked around? Maybe they have spotted somebody that looks like the governor of Tharaka within, or has been spotted anywhere?
It's not within the Parliament.
Okay, honorable members, I think we cannot force the sergeant at arms to produce the governor if the governor is not within the presence of Parliament. He knew that we had a meeting today. He knew that we had a meeting that was starting at 10 a.m. And indeed, this committee has been sitting in this room since 10 a.m. And we have considered other matters, and we have gotten to the point where we needed to consider the report of the Auditor General on Tharaka. If the governor is not here, that is unprecedented. And we will have to proceed in accordance with the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act. Now, before we give directions, and again, we don't need to address an empty chair, I think we just go to the substance and give directions that will ensure that the governor appears before the Senate for accountability. Senator Tharaka.
Chair, let me go first. Chair, when you look at the financial statements number 29 of Tharaka, we were ready to proceed. And I think, Chair, when we invite governors and the entities, our meetings start from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There were two entities, Kitui and Tharaka. Chair, under Article 229 of the Constitution Republic of Kenya, Parliament shall consider the Office of the Auditor General report. The decision has been reinforced by the courts that we must conclude and table our reports by 31st March of every year under consideration, Chair. So this was a constitutional obligation. Chair, the contempt of Governor Muthomi Njuki and his delegation is very unfortunate. And if it seems Parliament as the powers of quasi-judiciary of the High Court, we must make serious consequences against the governor. And I want to go on record without fear of contradiction. This is one of the governors that has been cumbersome, has been disrespectful to not only us as a Senate, but to the entire Parliament. And it's embarrassing that he's a former member of Parliament. Chair, when you look at number 29, because I'll make only two issues. If you look at the key management compensation, in the year under review, financial year 2024-2025, Governor Muthomi Njuki was given money by the county government of Tharaka as a compensation of 11,774,000. So he is paid to do his duty. So if he earns 11.7 million in that financial year under review, why is it hard for him to come and compensate? Chair, secondly, and for the benefit of the people of Tharaka and all of us who are in this room, when you look at this Audit General report, especially on the County Executive of Tharaka, there are many issues that needed the input, the management response of the governor and his entity. But to me, the reason the governor has run away is because he doesn't want to be held accountable. And however he ran away, the law will catch up with him. Because you look, there was a time failure to remit payroll deductions of 20 million. The employees of Tharaka Chair are suffering. Chair, there are a number of stall projects like upgrading of Karandini, Kithioroni Road, Kambani Chira Runguti Road, Tunyai Intara Road, Ndagani Market, Igangara Bridge, Chair. And then one of the shocking thing in this report is Governor Muthomi Njuki is the chairperson of health. But the sorry state of health has been captured in audit query number 10 in page 8 of the Office of the General Report, where there is lack of staff deficit and lack of essential machines, equipment, and drugs. That is the reason we wanted Governor Muthomi Njuki to come and his entity to answer to this question of lack of access to medical services, to stall projects, to pending bills of 882.5 million, Chair. That is the reason we wanted Muthomi Njuki to appear before this committee. One, because it's a constitutional obligation. Two, under Article 10, Chair, or leadership and integrity. You must be held accountable. It is one of the tenets of Chapter 6 on leadership and integrity, Chair. We were not inviting Governor Muthomi Njuki for a dowry negotiation or rurasho, or we wanted a baby shower or kupiga sherehe, Chair. We wanted him to account for the resources that we give to Tharaka County. And the fact that he has run away without fear of contradiction, he is running away for accountability. And the Bible says the guilty are always afraid. And one of them is this governor. And Chair, I want to conclude by submitting by saying we should not waste more time. Let us issue summonses. If the governor does not come, the Inspector General should mark him to this committee, because that is, and no wonder ESCC are investigating on a number of issues in that county. I yield back, Chair. Thank you very much.
Legal, what is the procedure when a witness fails to appear?
Through the Chair, Section 18 of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act states that Section 1, a parliament or its committees may invite or summon any person to appear before it for purpose of giving evidence or providing information, paper, book, record, or document in the possession or under the control of that person, and in this respect, Parliament and its committee shall have the same powers as the High Courts as specified under Article 125 of the Constitution. Furthermore, as per Section 23 of the same Act, Section 10.3.1 states that no public officer shall refuse to produce before Parliament or a committee any paper, book, or record or document, or give evidence before Parliament or a committee relating to the correspondence of any national security organs as set out as under Article 239 of the Constitution, or any independent commission set out under Article 248 of the Constitution, or any public office as defined under Article 260 of the Constitution. As subsection 2, any public officer who contravenes subsection 1 commits an offence.
So, if a witness invited fails to appear, the logical sequence is to issue summons.
Yes, Chair.
And if they fail to honor the summons, we have the option of imposing a fine or asking the Inspector General of Police to produce the witness.
Yes, Chair. Furthermore, given the said witness is a public officer, as per Section 23, if they fail to produce the evidence that is required of them, that would also constitute an additional offence.
So beyond talking to the IG of police, we can also talk to the DPP.
Yes, Chair.
Fine. So I think that's a legal basis. Let's not debate with an empty chair, but let me hear from Senator Wambua and Senator Maruma, and maybe the local content from Senator Mofaya before we give directives.
Chair, I'll be very interested in hearing the local content. But before we get there, allow me to make just 2 or 3 observations. One, Chair, the governor of Tharaka Nithi, as is the case with all the governors in this country, is the custodian of the resources of the people of Tharaka Nithi. When we are doing disbursements to Tharaka Nithi, the governor is normally very happy that money is coming in to serve the people. I don't know what the problem is with just telling the people of Tharaka Nithi through the Senate how the money received has been utilized. For me, I would expect that to be the easiest thing to do. I don't know why that seems to be a problem with the governor. Secondly, Chair, it will be remembered, and let this go on record, that Tharaka Nithi is actually one of the 12 counties that the Senate, in its own wisdom, invoked the provisions of Article 203 of the Constitution on the use of affirmative action to determine the basis of sharing revenues with counties. And I remember the area senator was very active in that movement. You, as truly Chair, brokered that truce and introduced an amendment to the CRA proposal that other counties in this country actually donated money to 12 counties, and Tharaka Nithi is one of the counties to which we donated money. It is disrespectful that the institution that did such a wonderful thing would be disrespected in this way by the governor of Tharaka Nithi. Chair, when I look at the report and I say, as you have directed, we cannot debate with an empty chair. But there are issues here that the people of Tharaka Nithi would have wanted to hear how we resolve. You know, there are issues of long outstanding trade and other payables. That is what people call pending bills. A figure there of over 800 million Kenya shillings. There is failure to retain facilities, improvement funds at the hospitals. The figure there of 293 million Kenya shillings. Chair, there is also unexplained voided transactions totaling to over 400 million Kenya shillings. These are issues that perhaps the governor would have shed light on and help the people of Tharaka Nithi to understand that there is value for money in the operations of their county. I'm disappointed, Chair, that the governor is not here, and so I think we've been guided properly by the legal counsel. Let's summon our issue. I thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just as you indicated, it is very unprecedented to have a governor who is supposed to attend not attending. When a governor is not attending, normally they write letters indicating that they want to seek for postponement. But for this particular case, the governor was around. He was seen in the corridors. I don't know what made him disappear from the corridors. I don't know why he didn't wait for the time of the meeting to come and answer to the questions that have been raised by the Auditor General. As Senator Wambu has rightly stated, that when we were fighting for the small counties to get an affirmative action fund, Tharaka Nithi was one of the beneficiaries who got approximately 400 million, which will run for 5 years. That's about 2 billion. You cannot get that type of money and expect that to not come here to answer to how you spend that money. So I think it's very unfortunate. What the governor has done is very, very unfortunate. It should be condemned with the strongest terms possible. And I agree that let the governor be summoned at the appropriate time to come and answer to these queries. For example, we are saying that Article 125 of the Constitution and Section Powers and Privileges Act is very clear that any client called here, any witness should come. He has flouted that law. But also, if you look at the ROR, the receiver of revenue, the governor for the Tharaka Nithi is not following the law. What the auditor flagged is that there is failure to operationalize a law on FIF that was enacted in 2023. And the hospitals are not collecting the money. This money is going to the CRF account. He should come here and tell us why he is not respecting the laws that these houses pass, the Houses of Parliament. And it's not worth the chair that he was a parliamentarian. He was a member of the National Assembly. I heard when Senator Wambu was doing closing remarks that we learn a lot when we engage also with the governors, and that Senate is a very good training ground for those who want to be governors. Maybe the governor missed that opportunity to serve in this Senate and to learn. That's why a law as important as FIF has not been enacted by the Tharaka Nithi. So I agree with you that let us do a summons as early as it is possible. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I don't know whether Senator
The chair chooses to remain on committee.
Fine. I think let's be guided by what the law says. We have made comments coming from the financial statements that indicate to financial mismanagement in Tharaka Nithi. But it is only fair to afford the governor an opportunity to come and defend himself. Because if
Chair, sorry, what did the area senator say? I didn't get, sorry. And then number two, on a point of information as he responds, I wanted to say that it is embarrassing because the chair at the Council of Governors in charge of health is the governor of Tharaka, who is not operationalizing Facility Improvements Act, which should the issues of health. I wanted just to inform
and that's more the reason why we need to have the governor appear before the Senate to clear the air on these things. Because the Senate is a powerful institution. Parliament is a powerful house. If we say some things with finality, as they are in the report of the Auditor General, there are things that could have consequences of a criminal nature, consequences of professional nature, consequences of a political nature. So I think it is in the best interest of the governor to appear before the Senate and to clear the issues that have been raised by the Auditor General, the issues that the senators have raised, and it is an obligation on the part of the governor. We are not pleading with him because the Constitution has already directed him that he must be accountable to the people directly and through institutions like the Senate. And so,
Chair, before you rule, because I can see you want to rule, allow me, Chair, to give unsolicited and free advice to the area senator. What he decides to do with this is a decision that we must respect. You know, Article 196 gives my colleague, my brother, the responsibility to protect the interests of the people of the Tharaka and their government. On a matter as this, my brother senator, and I say this free and solicited advice.
Senator Abua, we shall advise each other in the chamber.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm guided.
We'll do a conference so that we can advise each other.
I'm guided.
The area senator was looking excited and eager to get the advice. You can even feel from the laughter and excitement.
No.
I should have sought to know whether I wanted that kind of advice.
Yeah, because
I have sat here for 3 years.
even point of information.
Even the governors has been appearing before this committee before. So we are not supposed to cast aspersions. I think I want to agree with what the chair just said.
Okay.
The government will be given a chance to appear before the committee and answer questions.
Senator Akatai?
No, I'm saying I didn't invite Wambua to advise me, which is, you know, Wajua is a good guy. And, you know, the governor has been appearing before this committee before. Actually, all the invitations he has been able to.
But that is wrong.
No, let's not have those exchanges. No. I just want to buy what the chair just
Let us allow Senator Gatai to express himself also.
Senator Chanagay, you have an issue with your county. You have an issue with your county, right?
Let Senator
and I don't want us to go that route. You know, the chair just ruled that the governor has been appearing, right? And I think we should give him a chance to come and answer questions that pertain to the audit. As simple as that. So I don't want to cast aspersions. I mean, no, I think I agree with the chair that some of these allegations maybe can be around the political issues and so forth. So I mean that we mean not committed to that effect.
Fine. I like the spirit, the team spirit, and you know, everyone being the brother's keeper in this. So we will not cast aspersions on any party. We expect the governor to appear before the Senate, but we have said it is not optional, it is mandatory. We sent invitations and we made it clear that due to the strict constitutional timelines that we are operating under, we are not going to tolerate absenteeism like this or request for postponement on grounds that are not justifiable. The auditors have been here patiently waiting for their turn to prosecute, and we would have hoped that we would have proceeded. In any case, Parliament sits all the way up to 6:30, and so there is no reason for anybody to abscond or to run away or to cite limitations of time, because we are here, we are available, the auditor is present, the National Treasury, the control of budget. I even applaud the media for staying up this late. What the governor has done is unacceptable, and it must be brought before this committee to explain that kind of conduct. The next appearance will not be a polite invitation. It will be summons. We have read the provisions of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, and we will have to compel his appearance before this Senate on a date and time that will be specified. But for the people of Tharaka Nithi, we assure you that we will interrogate every issue of financial mismanagement that has been cited by the Office of the Auditor General, and if we find that we are in agreement with the Auditor General, which most of the times we are in agreement because they are the ones who have done the audit, we shall recommend the stiffest penalties, or we shall recommend investigation and prosecution in line with the law. But in line with the rules of natural justice, the governor will be given an opportunity to defend himself, to explain his conduct or misconduct today, but that shall be by way of summons. I think further to that, we had made a resolution that the Inspector General of Police should appear before this committee to explain why he has not arrested and produced the governor of Samburu, who has repeatedly defied invitations and summons of the Senate. We were made aware that the IG was out of the country in Japan. Clerks, can you confirm whether the IG is back so that we have that meeting and we establish it as a matter of law, as a matter that is supported by the Constitution, that this Parliament has the power to request the IG to produce any witness that refuses to appear before it voluntarily. Clerk, do we have dates
Yes,
for
Chair.
the
We are
meeting
still
with the
looking
IG?
for the dates. The IG is back in the country now, so we are looking for dates to invite him.
Again, it should not be a matter of us pleading with the IG because he has a constitutional duty. In the case of Samburu, he acknowledged the power of Parliament to direct him to arrest a governor because he wrote back and said, we give him a little bit more time to trace the governor. So if he responded in that tone, then we expect that he's going to comply with the legitimate directives of Parliament. And we need to bring him, if not this week, he must appear before us next week. Because if we allow this kind of habits or this kind of misbehavior to persist, then no governor will appear before this committee. I think in the last 1 week we've been very kind with the governors. And so they might take that as a cue not to appear before this committee. So we shall impose the provisions of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, and we shall go the full hog, including asking the IG to arrest and produce governors, or asking the DPP to file, criminal proceedings, because some of these things we are calling them contempt, but they are actually offences under the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act. So I think that is a directive of the committee. We feel for the Auditor General just the way we feel for ourselves, that we have made ourselves available, and yet the client is not here to respond to the issues raised. Unless there is any other business, we shall adjourn, and we meet again tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. The meeting is adjourned.